Namaste and welcome to my series on the 10 great cosmic powers, the Tantra Goddesses, the Dasa Maha Vidyas. I am ambikaarunaganesh and I have been studying and practicing Tantra for about 10 years. Today we're talking about the sixth goddess, Chinnamasta. Just for reference, I will bring out the book again. This is the book, The 10 Great Cosmic Powers, for everyone to have a reference. So all these goddesses that we spoke about so far, okay? Sixth goddess is the most striking goddess. Her name is Chinnamasta. I have beautiful photo. I'll also display this of her. She has two of her attendants here. This is her own head, and these are two people who are making love. They are in eternal union, and she's standing on top of them. Okay, so that's Chinnamasta. Basically, someone who nurtures herself and others, but actually her energy stems from the eternal union of two people. Yeah. So the first Vitrapura Bhairavi was someone who was who actually said that brahmacharya is possible. But this one tells you to go beyond the union. So not restrict yourself, but indulge so fully that you become the nurturer of the world. Yeah. I find her description and her personality very, very intriguing. Chinnamasta is standing on Rati and Manmatha, the loving couple, who are lying in close embrace. She had no head at all, a headless trunk with two arms aloft in a peculiar form. In one hand, she holds her own severed head, and in the other, a pair of scissors. From the headless neck, three streams of blood gush forth. The middle stream is drunken by her own mouth, while the other two are by the attendants. So, this form the sixth of Dasa Maha Vidya. Why is she headless? Why would someone chop off their own head? And why would they drink that blood after that? This has been a question for a lot of people. It's a natural thing, right? When you see her. A lot of these, I would say, people or scholars call her an inferior deity also. She's called a Grama Devata, or basically someone who's worshipped by an uncultured village folk. She's also intrigued by the whole fact that how come she was involved. Like there are people who are like surprised that why was she even included in Dasa Maha Vidya. Some of them even say that she is a Vamacharya deity. So there are two paths in Tantra, Vamacharya and I'm forgetting the other one. Dakshinacharya. Yeah. So the left and the right, basically. So the right is mostly the righteous things, but the left also has killing and doing things for the other beings that's not so beneficial for them. So she's also called as that. Some others go to an extent to calling her a wicked deity, Dura Devata. Now, why are people saying all this? It talks about because the method of worship, her method of worship, how you worship her is a little esoteric. That's why. Now, Kavya Kanthak Vashishta Ganpati Muni is one of the most scholar followers of Ramana Maharshi and is a very well-known scholar in the world. He delved deeper into her sadhana, and to his experience, it was that he did like a lot of you can say, like, he's not someone who people would have thought that would do something occult basically, but he did that, and he says that in her manifold play and to proclaim to the world through his works the greatness of this particular manifestation of goddess of as Chinnamasta helped him. So you may not experience or see, oh, this person may be doing these kind of things, but they're all working in tandem. Okay. So the occult path and the philosophical and esoteric basis is the whole sadhana. The modern representation of this by ancient sages or munis or everything is has a scientific bent to all this also. Okay, so a lot of these people have uh, like a large capacity of intellectual knowledge, or they can actually take a whole matter in grasp, and that's the kind of person was Ganpati Muni. He realized himself as Chinnamasta, uh, and he also saw that his cranium split, okay, while he's alive, and that's the reason a lot of people could see a streak of glowing light out of his head. So he actually went through this, and he writes about this quite publicly. Now, we said light is prakasha, right? And sound as nada. These are two precursors of creation, right? They are, it's like a unlimited space. It's not limited, which is Bhuvaneshwari, and the delimitation task, like foremost from basically time, is Kali. Now, when this light gets involved in creation, when it becomes the eminent principle in everything, at the same time transcending it, it is Sundari, which is Tripura Sundari. Now, the unexpressed, unmanifest sound turned towards creation in a concentrated consciousness is Bhairavi, while the sound perceiving itself, the seeing world, is Tara. Are you able to relate? Because Tara is the sound perception.
Yeah. Can you repeat these three things
Sure.
again?
Yeah, it's a little this thing, but you love this once you get it. Light is Prakash, sound
Yeah.
is Na, precursors of creation, two things. Now, when light is unlimited, the space evolves, right? You can't see space unless there is light.
Yeah.
You can't perceive it. So,
Yeah.
light makes sure that the space is available. So, Bhuvaneshwari, the first thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Once that is done, comes the time dimension,
Yeah.
which is Kali. Now,
Yeah.
when light starts doing the creation, okay, and it starts transcending it all the way. So, what would happen? Tripura Sundari, the ultimate delight, will open up. Now, the unexpressed, unmanifest sound, basically the one that is not taken any birth, something that is dormant right now, the concentrated consciousness is Bhairavi, while the sound that is perceiving itself, the sound that the Om, basically,
Yeah.
the first word, is Tara.
Yeah.
So basically, Tara is perceived and Bhairavi is not. It
Okay.
is the
Yeah.
word before, it's the word that comes to your mind. Say, for example, sometimes we say, it is on the tip of my tongue, but it has not come out.
Yeah.
The tip of the tongue is Bhairavi, while the one
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
spoken is. Huh?
That.
And there is one more goddess of speech that will come, so I had to clarify this.
Patangi.
Uh, yeah, no, Baglamukhi. She's
Okay.
the restrainer of
Okay. Oh, yeah.
speech. Yeah. Now, this interaction of Prakash and the light and sound, to precipitate the creation, is known by the Tantrics as the great goddess of Chinnamasta. She is the interaction. She is the conversation that's happening between light and sound. Okay. Now, the whole purpose of creation is for one to delight itself in separate existences as many, like to experience as much as possible, right? But to experience a separate existence, you have to cut off from the one. The umbilical cord connecting the mother and child has to ensure that life is separate for the child and the mother, right? So, this interaction of light and sound is so terrific and violent that it almost cuts off the creation from the creator. The umbilical cord is cut, and then you have basically in today's world separation anxiety, which is represented as natal depression or any other things. But in a cosmic way, that part, that phenomena is called Chinnamasta. And that's why she is referred to as cutting off her own head. In the world of phenomena, the interaction of light and sound results in thunder and lightning. Hence, Chinnamasta is the thunderclap and the lightning flash. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Makes sense? Okay.
Mm.
Now, the most powerful activity of the senses is the physical sensual activity translated in the language of sex. Right?
Mhm.
The great goddess is depicted as trampling with her feet the Rati and Manmatha who are joined in an amorous union, standing on them. This is a picturesque and dramatic way of the tantric to derive home the fact that worship of Indra's force Chinnamasta grants complete mastery over the sex impulse and other impulses of senses or indriyas as we call them. So if one has to really go beyond the senses, and from an Advaitic point of view, right, all that is perceived is actually by the senses. You see, you hear, whatever. So thoughts are basically the most. That's why we close our eyes and we sit in a quiet place so that at least two of our senses are gone. And then taste is not there or touch is not there. So we are actually, that's the most important thing for us to really make sure that no senses are present in the journey. And hence she is the one who grants that mastery. She is like the indomitable force on the creation itself, because the amorous union is basically the creation. वो creation के ऊपर खड़ी है. She's basically having her feet on it. Means you have surmounted it. All of this is very metaphorical
Mhm.
representation. And I pasted this in the AI, and she said, "Headless is not in my safety regulation, so I'll not create this." So just for fun, I am going to show you what AI created. It's a very funny one of
Did you
Chinnamata.
ask Chinnamasta? Can you create an image of Chinnamasta, for example? Or did you have to give a description of Chinnamasta?
No, the first she couldn't create, and
Okay.
then when she created, I wasn't happy with it because it's a very. She still has the head intact. That's why, and but it's very accurate in some way. I'm bringing it up for a reason because it's a very accurate description of how it would look like to anybody. So, like if I didn't have this in my head, most probably I may not totally see it as headless. So you look at, are you able to see now?
Yeah, yeah, I can.
So these, she's not standing on them,
Yeah,
such, but she has a
yeah,
different head. And if you see, there are male
yeah,
attendants for some reason. So
yeah,
this seems to be a popular interpretation of the world. Even if it's given that there are female attendants, even if it's given she's standing on it. But
yeah,
this also shows how patriarchal our references are, that even the
yeah,
AI created something patriarchal out of it.
yeah.
I
True.
had a
Yeah,
shocking moment when I spoke about this, but then the whole idea of teaching or having this course or doing what we're doing is this, that we get beyond and the Shakti rises in its true form. Okay. So, Chinnamasta is also like, what is the difference between then Kali and, like she's also terrible and fierce, and then also Chinnamasta. So, Chinnamasta is also basically, she's more terrible than Kali. So,
okay.
Kali is known as Chandi, whereas Chinnamasta is known as Prachanda Chandi. Prachanda is too
Okay.
much
Yeah, okay.
because she is more terrible than Kali also. She's more ruthless
Mm.
than Kali also, because when you have all senses cut off, imagine what would happen to you. Kali is not cutting off your senses, she's giving you a hard time in the world. This one is cutting you off the world, right? So that's the difference. Now, Kali represents the power of transformation, the force of evolution. Her action is no doubt strong and swift, but she works with the aid of time. Chinnamasta has her seat in the head, in between the eyebrows, in the ajna. So, Ajna chakra, yeah, in your third eye. And
Yeah.
that's why she has the power of will and vision. So she's not, how you say, guided by light, by time. She is guided by the vision and will beyond time. Okay. The Supreme Shakti. It is electric energy. It's like the motivation power of the whole creation. And as we said, she's the lightning or whatever. So she's called Vajra Vairochni also. When a being is created, this energy enters into their nadi. Now there are three nadis, right, in people or a human being: Ida, Pingla, Sushumna. Sushumna is the central nadi, basically in your backbone and the spinal column. And on either sides are Ida and Pingla, basically the left and the right. Their extremities are said to be the root of two nostrils and the center between the eyebrows. So basically, these nadis culminate here in your third eye, where your will and vision actually works from. That's the seat of Chinnamasta. So now you know when also to invoke her. Of course, when you are wanting total cutoff, but also when you are wanting intuition. Because when there is total cutoff, stillness, a period of hibernation or silence, that is when most ideas or you're able to connect to the divine and actually work from your intuition. Basically, it creates the alpha state of mind and opens your psychic in our general terms. Now, her activity. So she is based in Sushumna, the center, basically in your spinal cord, and she keeps going up for her progress. So basically, she'll basically make sure that the energy is flowing better in your nadis. Yeah. Now this explains the significance of three streams of blood. You see the three streams. One she is
Yeah.
giving to herself is Sushumna, while the other two are Ida and Pingla.
I'm seeing, by the way, the AI version of the image.
Okay,
You may
so
wanna.
we can go back to the other one. That is better because it represents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are the three. That explains what it is. Now, the streams on either side are consumed by attendant, Varini, and Dakini, her own attendant. So basically, nurturing the world. Even in the being, there is no flow of this electric energy. Like generally, there are like a lot of people will go through a healing session or cleaning their energy and all that, like aura cleaning and all that, is because there are knots which are called granthis in your sushumna. That is why we do chakra healing or any of this work. The knots are basically cut into pieces, and they obstruct the free flow of the divine energy in you or obstructs your intuition. This goddess will basically uh, cut her own head and make sure that you prosper. That also shows like her dedication to the evolution of her devotee. She's symbolizing. I mean, if you look at the overall thing, the head and everything is the destruction of the mind. Okay. By this, one should run away with the impression that the cut head is a mere figure of speech. At least, like after this process, we should understand that this is not a mere figure of speech. She literally, when the mind is annihilated, this happens to concretize the experience of the yogis. So Jamadagni was very angry with his wife Renuka one day, and Renuka is a goddess in Maharashtra also. She has temples.
Okay.
Now Parshuram was a very very obedient son. So Jamadagni told him to cut the head of his mother
Oh.
because he misbehaved with him. Now this he had a boon from his mother, or like he had a boon in general, Parshurama, that he will have unquestioned obedience no matter what it is. So Parshurama actually went to this goddess, basically to Chinnamasta, and prayed to her that you are my mother, you did this, but please can you make sure that your head is back and I get my mother back in you. So Parshurama, that's how got his mother alive, because Chinmamasta, as her head was cut off by this son, so she's also called as the Equira or the soul warrior for the same reason that she cut off her own head. She was the warrior, but she was also the mother of this guy, Parshurama, and he brought her to life with his love. And that's why her head is cut off, but she's still alive. It's a very interesting depiction. If you see, Renuka Mata is based on a hill in Maharashtra. And when you go, you will feel a very different motherly divine energy. I also choked while saying this because I was kind of seeing it. And it's like she's brought to life by this devotion or by the love of the sun. And you feel that in your heart.
Mm.
So the mantra of this goddess is hum, just hum. And it is a powerful seed sound to give the mastery over the senses and to annihilate the mind completely. Okay. One effective way of doing her sadhana is to see light instead of the object. So, if you can, like, if you remember yesterday, I was saying the substance of the sound, that if you don't label it, what is the sound? The same way, if you see the light instead of the object, that is the way of perceiving or praying or worshipping Chinnamasta. Okay.
Okay.
So, any questions? How are we
No,
doing? All
good.
good?
I'm remembering a story connected
Okay.
to Chinnamasta. I'm not. It's
Hmm.
like Chinnamasta is traveling through a
Hmm.
forest with her attendants, two
Hmm.
of them,
Hmm.
and they didn't find any food. They are hungry, so they have been saying,
Yeah.
give us food. We are hungry. We are hungry."
Yeah.
And at the end, they say, "What kind of a mother are you? Your children are hungry, and you're not giving food."
Yeah.
And then she cuts her head, and then
Yeah.
feed them and her with that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. True. I think this is a more popularly known story of.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
this long back though. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you have a sharing, please send me an email. My email ID is mentioned. And I hope the goddess blesses you with all the love, grace, and joy.